This is the Soulverse Podcast, episode 23. I am Jessica Delmar. I assist in strengthening your knowledge of who you truly are as a powerful creator being during these powerfully shifting times. Thank you so much for being here. In this episode, we are talking about this Lionsgate portal. And always during this month of August, with this powerful Lionsgate, the Lyrian guides, which are lion beings, always usually come around and want to bring forth a message and want to help guide people during these times. So even in your own experience, you are very strongly connecting to the Lyrian guides at this time. So I'm sure many of you have powerful experiences with past Lionsgate. For me personally, the Lionsgate has always opened up something so powerful, so new. It kind of serves as its own yearly cycle, if you will. So the intentions that you make for this Lionsgate portal with this 8/8 portal is going to amplify, it's going to energize with all of this culminating energy. So this past full moon opened the doorway, the gateway to really harness this powerful Lionsgate energy. And what it did in partnership with this Lionsgate energy is it opens opportunity in particular to integrate higher vibrational co-creative partnerships and relationships in order for everyone and everything to reconnect back to the all, back to your sense of oneness and unity. What the Lionsgate does powerfully within individuals is it works with your inner empowerment, your connection to all the things that you can kind of associate with a lion spirit animal, if you will: courage, strength, inner empowerment. Right now, the energy is calling for us to look to nature, learn from nature. What's there to learn? How can we integrate the way that nature provides and the way that nature co-creates and coexists together? Nature, animals, other living beings, etc., etc. How are they coexisting and co-creating together in harmony and unity? And how can we as humans, a human civilization on Earth, mimic and receive and absorb and integrate that type of living energy so that we can move forward in this whole new way, interconnected and interwoven together? So now I want to get into the greater message from the Lyrians, because it has a lot to do with co-creating and coexisting together in harmony and receiving each other's differences, embracing each other's differences, but also working on establishing that greater harmonious unit as smaller relationships and as bigger packs and as greater societal collective structures and organizations. We are the Lyrians. We are with you. We are aspects of the self, and you will find us in the courageous aspect of the self. We are your family unit and hierarchy consciousness, meaning that the human's natural tendency for hierarchy in relationships and family structures and societal structures are programmed from the Lyrian beings. This is not a bad concept or structure, but exists within the flow of divine order. Now, when we mention hierarchy consciousness, the word and the term hierarchy is the best word or term to reach for in the English language, but more so what the energy was trying to convey is this essence that represents the energy of different levels or different layers, which we know exists in the universe. There are many different levels, layers in terms of frequency, consciousness, and so you pull it into a physical experience. There are many different levels and layers that we translate into manifestations of our relationship structures, whether it's within our families, in society, in whatever, in co-creation and coexisting with each other as human beings. There are many different layers going on, and so those different layers in relationships and partnerships and co-creative partnerships is sort of that essence that was integrated within us as human beings from the Lyrian beings, and so they call it hierarchy consciousness. So kind of just take out of your mind what you already kind of have attached in your own meaning and knowing sense of what hierarchy means to you, and keep that in mind, that it's the best word that we can reach for in terms of describing just a multi-layered forms of relationships and partnerships. So moving forward, in a higher dimensional field of thought, the hierarchy structure enables divine order, divine thought, and divine purpose. But in a lower dimensional field of thought, which is essentially 3D, the hierarchy structure enables control systems and very divided structures of society. When you lift into the unified field of consciousness, the energy of flow is not always moving in the same direction. Look at your ocean currents, for example. The currents of the ocean move in all different directions upon the planet, and even beneath the surface of the ocean, undercurrents move in many different directions as well. But within the unified field of ocean water, all of the currents all dance together as one. It is not that different within oneness consciousness. And so, to have hierarchy in the field of unified consciousness is simply about having different flow movements of energy currents. Yet, all the different flow movements of energy currents dance together as one in the larger aspect of oneness consciousness. And so, you as human beings desire hierarchy for natural order, yet at the same time, you desire everything and everyone to be the same in your human minds. We're not saying that everyone and everything is not the same. In fact, you are more similar than different, and everything in the universe is a fractal of Source. But what we are saying is that the energy current that flows through you is different than the energy current that flows through the person standing next to you. Your differences upon your planet are significantly based upon physical aspects and belief systems. But we, the Lyrians, are here to remind you that you are more than your physical aspects and belief systems, just as your oceans are more than the physical form of water. You are moving currents of energy, and your physical form simply allows you to direct that current of energy into a physical manifested experience. So ultimately, when you think about co-creation in relationships, you are yearning for understanding and similarity and compatibility and love. But you must also remember that each person directs a current of energy. And in relationships, energy is like waves crashing upon a shore. There are different frequencies constantly crashing upon the shore, but none that are the same. In your partnership or relationship or family unit, you and the other person or person's energy will never be the same. But you can harmonize the current of energy so that you are waves crashing upon the same shore. You're never going to energetically be the same, but you must embrace your differences and find harmony in your frequencies in order to exist as water within the same ocean region. Your planet is made up of different oceans that each hold different frequencies, yet are all part of the greater whole. When it comes to co-creation, you cannot force the Atlantic Ocean to be where you are in the Pacific Ocean, but you can adjust frequency within you to connect with the Atlantic Ocean in the space of wholeness that is water. The differences in your relationships do not mean that you are not compatible, but it does mean that the puzzle of divine order has integrated within your relationship experience for you to find common ground as human beings, not based on physical forms or belief systems, but based on pure vibrational energy and frequency. When you are not in agreement in a relationship or partnership, your Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, worlds apart. But finding the harmonizing frequency between the different oceans is what opens the unified consciousness of water. What is the harmonizing frequency that bridges energy, you might ask? Well, the harmonizing frequency is the basic principle of love. It is the frequency current that runs through all, even those farthest apart. It is what unites you in the field of oneness. It is what opens beyond physical form and beyond belief systems of the mind. It is what creates harmony in the layers of differences. It is what opens expansion in the hearts of all. When you find the frequency of love within yourself, then it is easier to find it within others. You are not a way for others to change, but you are a way for change to be found in others. For those struggling in relationships, you must know that you are staying strong not for yourself, but for the other person or persons. Your willingness to join ocean currents together is what bridges faith and endurance. You are finding the frequency of love within you in order to synchronize with the frequency of love within the other person or persons. And in your faith, in your family structure, your relationship structure, or your societal structure, you unite oceans together. And that's what came through in terms of the Lyrians and the message that they have at this time for this Lion's Gate. Again, it has a lot to do with how we co-create together and how we coexist together as human beings. And it's all about finding that frequency that harmonizes us together through our differences. And this sort of opened up this window of another message that wanted to come through along these same lines that wanted to integrate within you at this time regarding the concept of wholeness, so that you can better understand it, so that you can better grasp it and activate it within yourself moving forward. So this is what came through. You must know that understanding and merging with the concept of oneness is not about trying to get everyone and everything to be the same and have the same beliefs. Oneness is about holding the frequency of knowingness that all in the universe, let alone the race of human beings and living beings on planet Earth, are part of the same ocean of energy. At the root of everything in the universe is like water on the planet. But at the same time, embracing oneness is about embracing the differences of currents, frequencies, waves, temperatures, strengths, consistencies, layers or depths, colors of all the oceans upon the planet that still connect together. Some currents run together in families, washing up against the same shore. Some currents and wave frequencies and temperatures of water are as different as being on opposite sides of the planet in two different ocean bodies, but they are still connected together as water. Oneness is about embracing all of the differences in the entire universe, let alone the human race, and receiving all with the knowingness that, as different as you may be, you are still the same at the root of who you are, which is a blanket of source energy. Oneness is not about trying to change someone or change a group of people to get them to be just like you and believe exactly what you believe in. Oneness is about receiving the differences and loving them anyway. Oneness is knowing that you are unique and different from the person standing next to you, and vastly different from the person on the other side of the globe, and galactically different from the extraterrestrial beings on the other side of the galaxy. Yet you embrace the differences that you know are only manifested physical differences that the soul desired to physically experience, because you know that ultimately non-physical energy that all connects to is interwoven together in a beautiful ocean blanket. If everyone connected to this currency of oneness, the planet would be drastically different in how humans co-create and coexist together. the differences of humans and the resistance to flexibility, the resistance to adaptability, the resistance to compassion and unconditional love is what drives division and strengthens pride and superiority. The level of division in the mind of humans is a program enacted by control systems upon the planet. Because for as long as humans focus on differences that drive you apart, you are blind to seeing the differences that bring you together. Differences are not bad, but oneness and unity depend on differences to enable new expansion points and new ideas. If everyone were to believe, look, live, and act the very same way, don't you think that the human experience on Earth would be a boring place? You came for the experience of uniqueness and individuality, yet on a soul level, you also knew the fun of individuality in a physical experience, because you also knew that you are infinitely non-physically connected to source energy. It's much like a brother and a sister who may get into a fight. They may even have the worst of fights, yet deep in their hearts, they know that they will always love each other, forgive each other, and be there for each other no matter what, for their entire lives, because they are family. The human race has simply forgotten this deeper connection that they have together, and has shifted their focus to the fighting. You enjoy the experience, yet you forgot that it is only a temporary experience. It is time to remember that you are all in a temporary physical experience together, creating expansion for all. And when your hearts remember, you will unveil a new outlook and the way that you exist together while you are in this temporary experience called life. And that's what came through very much at this time. It's a powerful time to reconnect to center, reconnect to who you truly are, which is source energy having this physical experience for the greater expansion of all. And when you connect to that wholeness space, knowing that you are part of this interwoven blanket of oneness, or the ocean blanket, if you will, then you can see the similarities that you have and that you can connect with within other people. And when you do that, you embrace differences because you understand that that is that particular soul's way to express themselves, to express their energy in this physical experience that they wanted to have, that everyone wanted to experience. Everyone wanted to experience that individuality and that uniqueness and have their soul be expressed through them. And this is such a powerful message at this time with this Lion's Gate in order to move forward in this new cycle of energy that is opening up for everyone. It's such a simple activation of oneness. It's a seed of activation, if you will. It's a oneness seed of activation, which opens and begins growing this whole new tree of life, so that you experience life in a whole new way. And this is the only way that we can move forward into 5D, is if we activate this new tree of life and how we experience life as human beings, co-creating and coexisting together. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. Happy Lion's Gate portal. I wish you the very best for this new cycle of energy opening up for you. Be sure to write down your intentions, bring forth your intentions of how you want to integrate this new cycle of energy, the shifts that you want to receive and start opening up and expanding within yourself. Allow your inner being to really lead you and bring forth those greater intentions and desires from your soul level rather than just a surface mind level. Allow yourself to dig into those deep parts of you, those deep aspects and desires and hopes and dreams and intentions to come forward, because they will begin manifesting in this new cycle of energy for yourself. Thank you again for being here. This podcast can now be found on all podcast platforms, so listen and subscribe on Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and as always, it's available on YouTube. I'll see you in the next episode, and remember, all is truly well. Oneness, love, and peace be with you.